Hey assholes, you all know the Xenomorph is a woman, right? I mean, at the very least, if you count the god-awful Covenant movie, you might go with unisex, but true Alien fans remember the realization in the first movie that the most terrifying thing we'd ever seen as kids was a woman protecting the nest of children to be born. Unlike most of the licenses in this game, I'm a huge fan of the first two Alien movies. Alien and Aliens were both amazing films, and Sigourney Weaver as Eleanor Ripley was my introduction to women who could just kill me, and my subsequent lifelong love of said women. As much as a Disney fan as I was, listening to a bunch of teenagers whine about how they want more out of life and how they won't listen to logical things, like how you can't be in love with someone you've never shared any words with, you dumb ginger git. That being said, I was a tad weary from the patch notes. Xeno essentially on the surface looked like Demo Doggy with Nemesis Hentai Tentacle, but after playing her for roughly 3.5 hours last night, getting her adept and trying different builds on her, I'm honestly ready to name her one of the best designed killers behaviors released in a while. This was originally going to be a third installment of my dearly designed series where I take a break from the rage, rants, and ripping apart of things to gush about things I love. However, after giving it some thought, I don't know if I'm exactly going to go about the same format. While I do believe Xeno is one of the best designed killers in the game, I want to save a full breakdown of her for its own video, so consider this a bit of a preview for future video to come. Instead, I want to talk about this chapter as a whole, consider it a review of sorts, maybe a first impressions, but definitely a breakdown of the good and bad that come with it. I think starting with Xenomomy herself is a good place. Did you see the ass to the Xenomorph? Wait, she has an ass? Hold on. Oh my god! Sorry, chat. Sorry. As far as if I were to tier her as a killer, I feel like A tier might not be a stretch. Xeno's tunnels are so strong for map traversal. You can get from one side of the map to the other before most survivors can even think. I like how you have control over it as well. It's not just a solid TP like many of the other abilities in this game. Maybe you are heading for a gen to check it, but above you, the footsteps of some unsuspecting dunce is stomping around so you can stop short and come crawling out of the ground uninvited like a Jehovah's Witness to explain to the survivor about your Lord and Savior, the tail attack. Chat. Oh, go for the pallet, go for the pallet. Oh my god, chat. If you know my ever-growing burning hatred of pallets, then you might have guessed I like killers who can hit over them, or, in Xenomomy's case, prevent them from even dropping in the first place. The tail strike is about 4.8 meters. Not a lot, but enough to stop many survivors from getting the pallet down if they are injured, and even if they drop it after the hit, the recovery time is enough that sometimes you can get a second strike in. The tail strike has got to be one of my favorite powers in Unalived by Sunrise. It's more satisfying than Nimmy Whip and seems far more consistent as well. I don't know if it isn't telegraphed well, but whatever the case, it is fun and satisfying to use, and as a survivor, it didn't really feel too unfair. I also think they did a good job with her add-ons. None of them really seemed all that useless except the Molten Skin add-on, because in no world are you going to be able to take advantage of the hindered and exhausted that this thing causes. One final thing I want to mention before tackling her perks is the flame turrets. While annoying, are not as large as a problem as I originally thought them to be. For now, anyway. I don't know if it's just because everyone's still learning their uses and the best places to place them, or that the turrets literally warn you when the Xeno is underground. Seriously guys, when it starts beeping it means the Xeno is nearby. But they seldom cost me chases, if anything. One of the things that I really like about their design is that when you pick them up, you are severely hindered. You can't pick up a turret and carry it across the map. It needs to be placed in the vicinity where you are, because that's its intended purposes. It's not intended to be placed at loops to be able to pull the Xeno out of some random chase that you're in with her later on. It's meant to protect you while you're on a gen while she's in the more dangerous runner mode. If anything, they just kind of jump scared me from time to time. I honestly feel like they need a buff, actually. Surprising, I know, but I feel like if taking Xeno out of runner mode also staggered her, the turrets would actually be fully threatening, but that's just me. Okay, perks. I still think they suck. They aren't all complete dog shit like I thought before during the patch notes video, and I was able to, once I wasn't groggy from just waking up, come up with some unique and interesting builds that, while may not be powerful, will be interesting to try out at later dates, and I'll get back to you on that. There isn't much to say about Ripley. Her skins are cute, I guess, but after rereading her perks, here's my thoughts. Lucky Star, really good, and almost must-have in stealth builds, and sits comfortably in the A tier, in my opinion. Maybe a high B, if not A. I think that just the ability to just jump in and get rid of pools of blood and grunting noises is so fucking strong, because even as somebody who can't hear out of the right ear, I am half deaf, I still heavily rely on sound cues to find survivors in loops. It's one of the biggest tools a killer has, and you can take it away quite easily with this perk. Chemical Trap, B tier strength, S++ tier meme. It's best used on God and safe palettes, obviously, but the slow that happens is so funny looking. Being wholly honest, I think it might be one of the funniest perks to witness in action since plot twists. Light-footed. I originally said this was really good, but to be wholly honest, after giving it much thought, I'm starting to wonder what the use for it is. Like, what purpose does it serve? Maybe if you're running some breakout build, it can help surprise the killer because they won't hear you stomping around them, but honestly, I don't see much else outside of that, and truly, I think there are better options to put in your builds anyway. I did get a chance to play the new map a few times, and honestly, it's a little dark, but I do enjoy it for what it is. It doesn't seem very big, and visually speaking, it's a tad lackluster. Personally, I was hoping for a map completely set inside the ship, but maybe that's a bit too much. The Killer Shack design is interesting, though, and pretty unique, which I'm all for. I think that earlier on, Behavior tried to uniform the Killer Shacks and the maps and things like that, and I really like the unique direction that they've been going with map releases recently. Finally, let's talk about DLC on Steam. Apparently, when I was gone, Behavior started this nasty little tactic of forcing a skin inside Steam DLCs to artificially raise the price. This isn't an option, by the way. They literally make it the only purchasable part of the Steam DLC. So prices of DLCs went from 7-ish for 2 characters to 12-ish. You could buy Auric Cells for 10 and save $2, but it's still more expensive than the options used to be, and that's a problem. If you're gonna have these skins shoehorned into the Steam store, then you need to have an option to not include the skin. And just briefly, can I mention that linked outfits need to be fucking abolished in this game? If I pay for an outfit, I should be able to mix and match how I want. I brought the $12 skin because I liked the torso and the pants, but I didn't like the hair. I thought, fuck it, I could just swap the hair out for the default, but no. No, I cannot. Overall, this is a scummy business practice, and I hope this doesn't become a trend of behavior in the future. It's not too late. Don't fucking do it. Don't be EA. We hate EA. We love Behavior. But that's my review of the Alien chapter. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And hey, don't forget to tell me your thoughts down in the comments. I love talking with you guys. And I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's see that Mori. Give me a kiss. Oh my God. That is beautiful. Yo, chill. I'm just waiting just like you are. Damn. Bitch had to hiss at me like that? That was unnecessary. It was very uncalled for.